is this?
My personnel file. We've already established that.
Yeah, but this here, what is this?
It's hard to say you're waving it so frantically. My contract, perhaps.
Yes, it's your contract, but this part here, what is this?
Well, again, it's hard to say with all that gesticulating. Perhaps if you calm down.
Calm down? How can I calm down? What is this?
From your reaction, I'd have to guess it's Clause 13A. Is it Clause 13A?
Yes, it's Clause 13A.
Are you having trouble with the language? Because it seemed quite straightforward to me. Father and I both thought it was quite straightforward.
But it makes no sense. It says here that upon the day of your retirement,
At the end of next month,
if my father's still alive,
which he is,
his controlling interest in Ulrich Energy gets transferred to you.
yes, along with his seat on the board.
Yes.
Well then, what could be more straightforward than that?
Well, it doesn't make any sense.
What part don't you understand?
All of it.
If your father is still alive when I retire, his controlling interest in Ulrich Energy gets transferred to me, along with his seat on the board. It's quite simple, really.
Simple? It's not simple at all. It doesn't make any sense at all. I mean, why you?
I've known your father a long time.
Yeah, I know, I heard the stories. You worked at the bank where you did his business when you were just starting out.
Your father was still working in the field back then, a freelance geologist searching for oil deposits.
Yes, and he found one.
I ran into him at a bar one night. We got talking, and he told me that he'd come into the city looking for someone to finance his discovery. He was convinced he'd found something big, but without one of the big companies to back him up, no one would lend him the money he needed.
Well, of course not. The big companies would have just paid him a finder's fee, pushed him out, and kept all the oil for themselves.
Exactly. Well, as I said, we met in a bar. We probably both had a bit too much to drink. And I will admit I had quite a crush on him in those days. He always was a handsome man. Well, it's hard to remember now exactly how it came about, but later that night we hatched a plan. I went into work the next morning and embezzled $500,000.
You what? I don't understand.
Seems quite straightforward to me.
But what are you telling me?
I'm telling you that the mysterious venture capitalist who provided the startup money for Ulrich Energy was me. I'm telling you that this company was founded on embezzled funds. I'm telling you that your father and I are crooks. So, about that transition, as you call it.
You robbed a bank? How did you not get caught?
Oh, I got caught. I served 5 years of an 8-year sentence after time off for good behavior. I am nothing if not well behaved.
But the money.
I made up a story about a handsome, sweet-talking stranger who seduced me. It was all his idea. Then he took off with the money, and I never heard from him again. I was young and foolish.
So all of this, it's blackmail. You've been blackmailing my father all these years?
I would never blackmail your father. He's always been good to me.
Oh, so you're blackmailing me, is that it?
I'm not blackmailing anyone. This was your father's idea. He said he wanted to leave the company in good hands. He trusts me.
He trusts you, a convicted embezzler.
A convicted embezzler who's worked here for 35 years.
This is an outrage. You're not going to get away with this. I'll see to that.
Calm down, Mr. Ulrich. You have a conference call to prepare for.
Forget the conference call. This is an outrage.
Hold that thought.
What?
Hello, Janine. It's Donna. Can you put Miss Weber on, please? Thanks, Janine. Hello, Ms. Weber? Mr. Ulrich was hoping you could sit in for him on the regional director's conference call. Something came up. But just tell Janine, she can take care of the details. Thanks, Miss Weber. What's that? I will, Miss Weber. Miss Weber asked me to remind you to make dinner reservations for tonight. Now, you were saying?
I was saying that this is an outrage. How can you just sit there so calmly?
It was a cottage, by the way.
A cottage? What are you talking about?
In case you were wondering, it was a cottage. Your generous gift? You bought me a cottage. Well, more of a lodge, really. A small lodge. 8 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, 2 kitchens. What would you call that? It's on an island. Well, just a small island. I suppose technically you bought me the island. It's remote, I can tell you that. Only accessible by boat or float plane. And I knew you wouldn't want to inconvenience me, so you bought me a nice boat as well. A yacht. Well, just a small yacht. What would I do with a float plane?
Ms. Shaw, this is outrageous.
I'd hardly call it outrageous. Generous, yes. Dignified and tasteful. Certainly more appropriate than a watch under the circumstances, don't you think? And enough with this Miss Shaw. It's about time you started calling me Donna, don't you think? Your father always called me Donna.
You leave my father out of this. My father's a good man. My father, he's done lots of
Guilty
charity.
of felony conspiracy to embezzle $500,000? Yes, but that was so long ago. Your father is a good man. A generous man. Let's try to remember that, shall we? Why live in the past?
What is it you want?
Well, I could use a cup of coffee. Can I get you one, or did you want to go? I take cream and half a sweetener.
Don't be flip, Miss Shaw. You know what I mean. I give in. You've got us over a barrel. You've got me over a barrel. What's it going to take to make you leave?
Oh, I'm not going anywhere. Did you think I was going to leave? The cottage, the island, that's just for weekends, summer vacation, that sort of thing. No, I'm staying right here, taking my seat on the board, keeping an eye on my controlling interest in the company. I hope I haven't given you the wrong impression. You're not worried about yourself, are you, Barry? There's no need to feel threatened. As long as I'm around, there will always be a place for you at Ulrich Energy. You have my full confidence. Well, mostly. We'll have to talk more about your plans for this office, for instance. I'm not sure Ms. Jenkins is the right fit. We should leave her in marketing, maybe give her a bigger portfolio and see how she does. Here, you may want to take some notes. Now, the way I see it, we're not putting enough money into developing the American market and way too much into Europe. Times have changed. The political climate is shifting.
Wait a minute.
Am I going too fast?
No, but this isn't right.
No, I think it is. The American market's going to open up, and we're going to have to put out some real money if we want to be a player in South America. We're ignoring South America completely.
We're ignoring South America because it's controlled by criminals.
Criminals, Mr. Ulrich? Well, we wouldn't want to get mixed up with criminals. Now, about my retirement, have you given any thought to the party? I was thinking champagne and an oyster bar and maybe one of those chocolate fountains. Well, about the cake, none of that god-awful red velvet. Chocolate or mocha, what do you think? And I think you should wear your blue suit. We don't want you looking like you're going to a funeral. Are you getting all this, Mr. Ulrich? Shouldn't you be taking notes? Perhaps you'll need some help with this. Should we call Ms. Jenkins? We could put that Ivy League education to good use. Maybe put her in charge of hors d'oeuvres.
Miss Shaw?
Oh, Barry, what's with the Miss Shaw? Call me Donna. Why so formal? And it doesn't have to be chocolate or mocha. Lemon is nice, or buttercream. Why don't you surprise me?
Surprise you?
Yes. Now, why don't you run along and get us that coffee? No, wait, on second thought, I'll go. You should go sit at your desk where you belong.